This is emergency broadcast frequency 417. If you can hear this, you are not alone. Stay where you are. Secure all entrances. Keep all noise to a minimum. Do not attempt to confront the infected creatures. They are far more dangerous than we initially believed. We have received multiple confirmed reports. This is not just aggression. The infected are learning. They are hunting in coordinated packs. If you see them watching, if they hesitate, instead of attacking, get out. They are planning. Attempts to contain the outbreak have failed. Multiple species are affected, including canines, felines, corvids, and large mammals. We now have reason to believe that the infection has spread to water sources. Stay away from lakes, rivers, and any unverified drinking water. If you are in a forested area, evacuate immediately. Urban zones are under siege. Attention all survivors. Updated advisory from Central Command. If you have pets, do not assume they are safe. There are confirmed cases of domesticated animals turning against their owners. The virus does not just change behavior, it rewires instincts. If an animal is acting normal, be cautious. If it watches you too closely, do not hesitate. Secure yourself. Remain calm. Stay quiet. Our latest intelligence confirms that the infected communicate through sound. If you hear clicking outside your shelter, do not respond. Do not investigate. They are listening for you. To those still fighting, hold on. We are still here. This frequency will remain open as long as we can transmit. Stay tuned for updates. Our next scheduled transmission is at 0600 hours. New warning. If you hear a familiar voice calling your name, do not respond. The infected are mimicking human speech. We don't know how. But survivors have reported voices of friends, family, and even their own children outside their doors. It is not them. Stay alert. Stay wary. Do not trust what you hear. If something sounds too human, it's a trap. Priority. Alpha directive. Evacuation routes compromised. Safe zones are falling. We are losing ground. Survivors in urban areas, find shelter underground. We will attempt extraction, if possible. Repeat, retreat to underground structures. The latest observations confirm that the infected display higher reasoning skills. They have been seen disabling security cameras, setting rudimentary traps, and luring survivors out of hiding. If you suspect an area is too quiet, do not enter. Trust your instincts. Another critical update. We have intercepted distress calls from an unidentified group claiming to have a cure. Approach such messages with extreme caution. False broadcasts have been used to lure survivors. There is no verified cure at this time. If you are near an abandoned vehicle, avoid honking or making any unnecessary noise. The infected react aggressively to sudden loud sounds and will converge on the source within minutes. Move quietly. Stay unseen. There is an increasing number of cases where survivors report being stalked for hours before an attack. They are patient. They observe. Do not assume you are alone just because you cannot see them. If you feel watched, trust that feeling. Supplies are running low in most areas. If you must scavenge, travel in pairs. Never enter a building without an escape plan. If a door is open, be suspicious. Survivors, do not leave doors open. Survivors near Zone 3, reports indicate that something larger is moving through the ruins. It is not clear if this is an advanced mutation or a different species altogether. Avoid the area at all costs. If you hear a deep guttural clicking, do not move. It seems to react to motion. The following locations are considered high-risk zones. downtown districts, hospitals, abandoned highways, and industrial complexes. Infected clusters are densest in these areas. Seek refuge in rural locations if possible. Final advisory before power runs out. Do not attempt to contact unknown survivors over unsecured channels. Trust is dangerous. If you must communicate, use prearranged signals and coded language. We are nearing the end of this transmission. If you are listening, do not lose hope. There is still a chance to outlast this. Survive. Endure. Do not fall into despair. Remember, as long as you are breathing, you are still fighting. We are still here. We are still fighting. This is not the end. This is Emergency Broadcast Frequency 417. If you are listening, you are still alive. But listen carefully. The situation has changed. The virus has spread. It is no longer just the animals. We have confirmed cases of human infection. The infected among us retain something of their former selves, but only at first. They are faster, stronger, and more intelligent than we expected. Unlike the animals, their reasoning remains intact for longer. Do not assume you can trust them. If someone begins to exhibit erratic behavior, whispering to themselves, tilting their head at odd angles, reacting to sounds that aren't there, distance yourself. They are changing. The infected have leaders. We call them the alphas. We don't know how many there are, but we have seen them directing the infected, controlling them. They are not mindless. They set traps, feign weakness, and organize attacks. If you see a pack of animals moving together with precision, there is an alpha nearby. Do not engage. If an infected human stops and stares at you without blinking, run. A new safe zone has been established at Grid 52, a fortified bunker outside the city limits. We have limited supplies, but if you can reach us, you will find shelter. However, the path is dangerous. We lost contact with 2 rescue teams in the last 24 hours. If you attempt the journey, do not travel alone. The infected are isolating stragglers. A word of caution: the infected have begun mimicking us. More reports are coming in of voices calling for help in the dark. Voices that sound like lost loved ones, trusted friends. Do not answer. Do not investigate. These are not your people. This is the virus. New information suggests that certain water sources have been compromised. If you do not have purified water, do not drink. Signs of early infection include increased sensitivity to sound, mild paranoia, and, in some cases, an overwhelming urge to join the infected. If someone you know is acting differently, do not wait. An update on behavioral patterns. The infected do not attack immediately. They observe. They wait. If you have seen one and it does not charge, do not assume it is safe. It is learning, watching. If you lock eyes with one, look away. Do not engage. If it tilts its head, get out of there. More reports are surfacing about the alphas. Some survivors claim they can communicate with each other, issuing commands in low guttural tones. Others insist they have seen alphas strategizing, coordinating attacks, setting ambushes. This is no longer a mindless outbreak. This is a war for survival. If you're still out there, if you're listening, we need information. If you have observed an alpha, if you have survived an encounter, we need to hear from you. But do not, I repeat, do not attempt to approach them. If you hear them speaking, run. Another development. Some infected humans appear to be self-aware. They retain memories, emotions, until the infection takes full control. Some survivors have reported seeing their infected loved ones hesitate before attacking. Others claim they can hear whispers in the night, familiar voices speaking in unfamiliar ways. This is psychological warfare. Do not let them inside your head. Safe zones are dwindling. Grid 52 remains operational, but reports indicate an influx of infected near the perimeter. We are holding the line, but we need reinforcements. If you are armed, if you are trained, we need fighters. We cannot hold forever. There is hope. A group of scientists, former military personnel, claim they are working on a cure. We don't know if they're still alive, but their last known location was near the ruins of Old Harbor. If you have the means, if you are willing to take the risk, find them. They may be our last chance. The virus is evolving. The infected are becoming more than we ever feared. Stay alert. Stay armed. Stay alive. We will broadcast again if we are able. Until then, trust no one.